Well, it's Tool Time Tuesday here at Full Bore, and today we got ourselves a little something to make our air hammers a little bit easier to use. This is the Central Pneumatic item 66621 Air Hammer Quick Release Chisel Holder. Now basically, if you got yourself a cheapo depot air hammer like I got right here, you're probably familiar with this spring retention mechanism that holds your chisel pieces in place. And if you've used it, probably know, kind of a pain in the butt to get the chisels in and out. Some come out easier than others. Now to replace this is actually relatively simple from what I understand. We just simply unscrew this piece right here. It's coming undone. And we got some threads. Now let's see if I can't get this camera to focus a little better. There we go. And then basically, the new piece should fit right over that. So why don't I go ahead and cut this open and get that on there. So here's the piece in question. Push down on the collet to release. Now, people have noted in the past that this ring right here, if my camera would focus, this springy clamp right here might get in the way of the threads, but we're going to see if that actually is the case. It feels like it did at first, but once you get it on there, I don't know why it continues to turn. Feels like this might be on there permanently now. So, interesting. It's got these little set screws to keep it in place. But let's see if this works as advertised. There we go. Alright, so the number one complaint with this from what I've seen is apparently you lose power with it. We're going to try it out and see if that actually is the case. Alright, so first, quick dry fire test. Seems fine enough. We're going to need to bash something with a hammer now and see if the power still holds up. Alright, so we got ourselves a rotor that's kind of stuck on the hub. So we're going to try banging at it with this real quick and see if it loosens it up. We're replacing this rotor anyway, so it should be fine either way.
Bada bing!
I think it still works pretty fine. Over here we got a different car with a seized drum that we're going to try and remove. So believe it or not, it's been over a year since we first started testing this quick change mechanism for the air hammer. And there's a few things I'd like to note about my experience using this system. One, it is physically longer than the spring mechanism, so you won't be able to fit this tool in as tight of a space as before. So if access and flexibility is your main concern, you might need to stick with the spring mechanism. Two, the ball bearings that move back and forth when you put the collet down don't always move into the recessed position when you pull this thing back, so getting your chisel in and out is kind of a pain in the butt at times. If you poke the ball bearings with your finger in there prior to putting the chisel in, yeah, that'll work, but maybe spraying a little bit of WD-40 on those ball bearings would help that out a bit. And third, in terms of power, I have not noticed any degradation or loss of power using this quick change system over just the standard spring. If there was any change, it was so negligible that it's not even really worth mentioning outside of this review. So for $5, that's actually not a bad system. Sometimes the collet sticks a little bit. So when you push it down and then you let it go, those ball bearings don't pop back out quite nicely either. And you know, it takes a little fiddling around with. Overall, still way better than the spring, in my opinion, but for $5, man, it's hard to beat. So that is the review. I hope this helped. If this was informative in any way, shape, or form for you, I hope you leave a like for us. If you want to see more videos like this and more tool reviews coming up, consider subscribing. We do car work here, and occasionally on Tool Time Tuesday, we'll review some tools that we get.